Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the start of the Valmont 4-5 race. And yeah, here we go. So this is at the Valmont Bike Park in Boulder. Pretty cool course, honestly. I got a decent call up. I was second row and I had a really nice start. Finally a good clip in. I was actually paying attention this time. And this part's kind of just a super fast straightaway. It's kind of sandy and gravelly though, just kind of the downside. But it wasn't too bad. I was still on gravel tires at this point. I finally got some CX tires, but on this race I was on gravel tires. So we're just coming into the backside of the main hill at Valmont. And this is just the one thing I'm good at in cyclocross is the hills. So I just nuked it up here. And I'm just passing all these guys that had a really good start. And then we're at the top of the hill, and then we're coming into this kind of chicane, but it's like slightly off camber, and we were doing like some recon laps the night before with the CU team, and we decided it was probably faster to run it. Some guy was on a mountain bike in my race, and he was doing pretty well just riding it, but I was pretty sure it was faster just to whip the bike around on your feet. And then this was like the main section, or the main feature rather, coming down the hill, because you can see this guy's leg was fully out. It's this really nasty off camber and it's sandy. So we also figured out in our pre-riding with that, the bottom line was the fastest because you just weren't slipping as much, because we were riding the top line, but because it was so sandy, you would just slide out into the bottom line anyway. So this is the other side of Valmont Park, essentially the green side. So just kind of some turns back here, but nothing too crazy. Kind of some single track, just kind of fun since it's the bike park. And then this is the sand pit, but it was so packed down. It was fine. I mean, I've never really rode a sand pit before this, and I didn't practice it. You just kind of send it in. It was so packed down, it was like very loose gravel, so it was barely sandy at all. So yeah, coming out of that. Now we cross over back to the steep side, the hillside, and we come down into the steps, which is kind of fun. So right here I'm just dismounting and running up. I was actually pretty good at the steps part, probably since the CU boys told me how to actually hold my bike. Unfortunately, my clip-ins are, well, there's a lot more to be desired with the clip-ins, but that's all right. And then coming into this off-camber section was kind of tricky, and boom, there, you can see I burped my tire coming into it. I think I hit a rock that was hidden in the sand, because that part was also a little sandy. Yeah, all of Valmont's, it's like secretly sandy under the grass, so as the tires just kept wearing out the grass, and just more sand appeared. So after the big hill, we're coming back into the chicane part. There's the leader right there. So I'm second in the race at the whole moment, the 4-5 race combined. He kind of gaps me off here because I have a bad clip, and you can see the guy on the mountain bike just kind of slid out there in the back. Then yeah, the off-camber section. The camera doesn't do it justice, but you would just go flying into the tape. You just got to lean the bike over, or you would cross the tape and get all tangled up. And then yeah, unfortunately tragedy strikes. I dropped my chain here on a bump, and I think I get pushed back to 6th place or something. I think 4 riders passed me there. There's one guy ahead. So now I'm 6th place overall, and I'm just trying to fix this drop chain. Just so annoying, but it is what it is. And now chasing again. So yeah, here we are again. I'm still chasing after the chain drop, which I was pretty bummed about because I was sitting in 2nd position in the whole race, the 4 and the 5s combined. So at this point I was kind of frustrated. But I knew I was going to be able to catch guys on the hill just because I'm much stronger than the guys on the hill. Yeah, you can see here someone crashed into the tape. probably could have just gone around and used it to advantage, but I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, here's the sand pit again. You can kind of see it better here. It's just really packed down. It's not sandy at all. You go so fast into it, you can turn easily. I wasn't sliding out at all on the sand pit. So here we are, back at the steps. Those are the guys, so I've been chasing them down hard, and now they're back within sight. And I've been having, this race had really good steps, so I just caught up to these guys very quickly on the hill and the steps combined. Again, the remount I have to get better at, but yeah, so we just did a whole lap, and now I'm passing them again. Actually, not a whole lap. This part is just right after those steps. So I passed that guy. So now I'm sitting in 5th, I believe. And then this guy I'm gonna pass pretty calmly, just drilling it on the hill. So now I believe I'm sitting 4th at the moment. And this was the one part, like I said before, best part of the course is the uphill, kind of a longer sustained uphill. It's not very long, but longer than a sprint, that's for sure. Because I am pretty terrible at sprinting as well, but that's alright. Yeah, back onto the single track at the top of the hill. And then yeah, this guy tried to ride it, but I'm walking at this point and completely undercut him.
Nice.
And yeah, later he said, yeah, that was definitely faster to run. Just because if there was traffic, you could just pass people so easily. And then yeah, off camber. So now I'm sitting 3rd, I believe. Yeah, you can see he took the high line there. He kept it upright, which is good. Because it's farther back in the pack. Alright, well listen to this.
Yo, what happened to the tape? Wasn't me.
I asked if he saw who crashed the tape, and he did not see, but yeah, farther in the pack, people were going down and walking that off-camber section. So if you were caught behind them, it was so slow compared to riding it, even though riding it was a little scary. And yeah, this is going back up the hill and passing. This guy was lapped, I believe. I nearly slide out here. Ooh, very close call. That would have been pretty bad if I undercut the guy that was lapped and then crashed into him. So luckily I kept it upright. And then yeah, the downhill back into the steps. So I really liked this race. This was probably the most technical one I've done. Having this I think this is my 5th race ever for cyclocross. So this is my most technical one, but it's also the one that kind of suited me the best with the big hill at Valmont Bike Park. Because I could drill it every time and be fine. And yeah, another view of the off camber. I wish the camera did it better justice, because it was at the end of the race it got pretty sandy. And it's very, very much off camber. Just the camera balances out pretty well. You can see I kind of go wide there onto the grass every time, because you couldn't really control it. And this part going onto the other side of the park was pretty sandy actually. This was more, that little corner right there was more sandy than the sand pit. You were always sliding a rear wheel there. Oh yeah, and this is when tragedy strikes again. Yep, chain drop, 2nd time. And I'm kind of pissed at this point, because I'm essentially just throwing away my race. And then God, this remount is actually painful to watch. I can do much better than that. I decided to run up the tiny hill there and then remount at the top, which was a bad idea. I should have just gone fully over and then remounted with speed on the downhill, but you know, now I know. So no one passed me there, but the guys behind me that I passed earlier caught up to me. So yeah, I believe they're close on my wheel. I kind of gapped them off on this section too, just because it was fast and power section. I'm pretty sure maybe that guy went down earlier, but oh well, he was just standing on the side with 2 bikes there, so hopefully everyone's alright if there was a crash there. And then we're coming back into the sand pit. Quote unquote sand pit.
I dropped the chain again.
Yeah, there was me telling my mom and my uncle were standing there that I dropped my chain again. pretty annoying, but I don't know. I think I was pedaling. I mean, my chainring was pretty bad. That's what the mechanic said. It's like not a great chainring. And I was pedaling like right on a bump, so it was probably my fault and a little bit of my bike's fault. So yeah, we just finished the steps again. This is probably lap 4 or 5 or something. Probably 4. I think we did 5 laps. I'm not fully sure. This section actually got trickier and trickier just because the more people rode it, the sandier it got. So, I went very wide there, unfortunately. I realized before that I have to go wide before the corner so I could get out of the second corner a lot faster. Especially because it's sandy, it's hard to turn in on the sand without, you know, sliding out. There's my family cheering me on again. Yeah, this is just the finish straight. Along straightaway from Valmont Bike Park.
Pardon me, that is there's your sea of
A little shout out. That's kind of nice. And then yeah, back on the hill, and I was passing this guy who was lapped. So I just let him know, passing. He gave me plenty of space, which was very nice because the last thing you kind of want to think about is trying to avoid lapped riders, because that just kind of gets in the way of the racing dynamic. So at this point, I believe I'm sitting in 3rd. And yep, dropped my chain for the 3rd time in this race. Kind of expressing my anger. This time I actually know how to put it on quickly, so that was the fastest pit stop I've had. And then 4th place comes past me. So I was like, oh man, this is kind of sucks. And at this point I knew I wasn't gonna win the race, just because 1st and 2nd were so far ahead, just because of these stupid chain drops. So I wanted to really fight hard for at least podium. But yeah, I cannot believe I dropped my chain 3 times in this race. I threw away the opportunity to win because I knew on that first hill I had much more power than any of these guys. And I don't know, we started with like 30 plus people, but I only saw 5 people the whole race. I was talking with a friend of mine who was in this race just afterwards, and he was kind of caught up in the back. And he said the first lap on that off camber, it was taking lives. People were falling, people were walking it, and he was like, that's how they got caught up. I tried to undercut him a little bit.
Right on the street. I know, I was kind of messing with you, low-key.
Yeah, I told him I wasn't going to actually chop him because I knew I was going to get him on the uphill anyway. I just kind of wanted to mess around because he was being friendly all race, so gave him a little scare. So yeah, I just powered past him here. Pretty tame. But yeah, my friend was saying that it was carnage on that off-camber section, so the race split apart within the first 2 minutes. So yeah, back at the stairs. Honestly, I like these stairs. They were long enough that you could like fully get your bike on your shoulder because it'd be worth it. But they weren't too long where you weren't like super exhausted. Yeah, this other guy was like pre-riding at the time, and the gravel donkey guy behind me got pretty pissed off about it. He got out of my way, but...
Whoa, I fucked
and
that.
then I proceeded to launch that corner. Yeah, I completely screwed up that corner, and he had to like unclip behind me to keep it upright. So sorry about that, dude, but I don't know. I kept my spot, so that's cyclocross. Yeah, so just coming into the finish, just this little straightaway, and then one more turn, and then the final straightaway. So yeah, that's about it. That was the Valmont 4.5. I finally got my Cat 3 upgrade. I requested after this, and they gave it to me. So the next video is going to be Louisville, which is already done. And I raced the Cat 3 in that race. That one has quite a different story than this one, but yeah, at this moment I'm kind of pissed off that I threw my chain 3 times in that race because I definitely thought I could win it, but Oh well, you live and you learn. That's racing. I'm just trying to get better. Get better with my technical skills and all that with cyclocross. My main focus is road, but... Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll do the Louisville video soon. I've just been so busy, but see ya.